Hello, you're listening to the punk rock demonstration with me, Jack, and you can check out the website at punkrockdemo.com. And today we're here at the Galaxy Theater with Lynvall from the Specials. Hello.
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here. Greetings.
So tell us a little bit about how the Specials started.
Well, the Specials started with Jerry Dammers, the keyboard player, the absolute genius of the band. He was the guy who got it together. I was the first member. Then Oris. Us three get the music together. Then later on, we had Terry. Then Roddy was in another band, and we sort of steal him from the other band because he looked better in our band anyway. Never was the roadie with us when we were on the road. And Brad, the drummer, wasn't with us to start. We had another drummer, Silverton. After we did the Clashes tour, the Unparole tour, and then went off to France. And then Silverton got back and he just called us a bunch of bleep, 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 and walked on and left the band. We had the studio booked to go and do our first single, which the first single was meant to be Nightclub. And obviously, short notice, a new drummer. We didn't get it right. So we had this one song which was about us being in France, gangster, because we had a rough time in France. I got these guys took my guitar away from me in the hotel. We had a big fight in the hotel. The windows got smashed down and we got thrown out. All because of another band called The Dam, the punk band called The Dam, stayed there before we stayed there. They smashed the place up. The lady who owned the hotel said, "You guys are from England?" We said, "Yeah, we're from England. We're here to drink beer and eat French bread and everything. You must pay for the damage for the next band." So that's what happened. So they took the guitar off us and we got a big fight. So that's where Gangster come into it. We wrote that song Gangster because the club was owned by gangsters.
So is this in the UK or?
That was in France. Paris.
France?
Yep. We all that come together in France.
What year was this?
That was the beginning of 1979.
Was that
The first single was released in 1979.
when the band formed?
No, the band was formed probably about 2 years before.
So in 68.
Yes. But we didn't go to France until 1979.
That's right.
Because we had in Coventry was like, we just play around locally. All the bands that come to Coventry, we get to all the punk bands. We get to be the opening band for them. But we went to London, me and Jeremy, and we pleaded with the Clash, can we go down your tour, And the Unparole tour, those guys were so kind. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been here. The Clash actually gave us the break, because normally in those days, right, usually you end up having a opening band. Having a record company pay for those bands to get on a tour because it's big exposure. We didn't have a record deal or nothing, so we pleaded, and Joe Strummer, God bless him, he gave us a break.
Did you guys have any money when you guys started the band?
No, we had no money. We were all unemployed. None of us wasn't working. We were just totally unemployed. We were living off literally off the government basically because we were signing on and getting sort of enough money just to keep us from day to day, basically.
So how many records has the Specials written?
We've done, how many albums we've written? We've done probably about 3 albums, but there's lots of singles, the singles, the first single was Gangster, the second was A Message to You. Then, what's the next one after that? That could have been A Little Rich Girl, A Rat Race, something like that, and Stereotype, then Do Nothing. There's quite the last record we did, which was a Ghost Town. That was our biggest selling record, and we walked out of the band after that. The band broke up after we broke up at the top.
So what happened with the Specials when it broke up?
Well, it's a long story, It's something that we don't really talk much about. We like to talk about the inspiration behind the band, the music, the lyrics of the song, what it stood for. Songs like It Doesn't Make It Alright, which is because we're a multiracial band. So pulling all different nationalities together was the band's key, and I think that's far more important than talking about, the trivial things that happen behind the scene. The important thing is to be able to be positive, and that's a positive part of the band. I know like before you get like sort of some journalists want to know what the dirt, but that's not important. The important thing is that we unite people through our music. We got black, white, Indian, Chinese, Jamaican, whatever it is, we got them all together. And that was to me, that's far more important,
So was the Specials behind, or was the message behind the Specials something to do with the non-racial things?
Oh, that's what the song goes. Not because you're a black boy, not because you're white. It doesn't mean you have to hate him. It doesn't mean you have to fight. It doesn't make it all right. You can't more togetherness than that.
the song "A Message to You, Rudy." What is that song about?
It's about gangster, basically. You know, guys who because if you listen to the words, stop your messing around. You know, better think of your future. Time you straighten right out. Creating problems in town. A message to you, Rudy. Otherwise, you're going to end up in jail. So everything with this special was absolutely positive. We're talking to kids. We've done like Too Much Too Young, which was our first #1 record. You've done too much, much too young. You're married with a baby. But really, you should be out there having fun. You're only 15 years of age. Those records live on forever because it's still happening today.
Yeah, "A Message to You, Rudy" is like one of my favorite songs. I never understood what that meant until now.
Yes, so. It is all about telling all the kids who get into gangs and gang warfare and killing each other, you're just going to end up in jail. So just stop your messing around, you know. Better think of your future. Otherwise, you'll wind up in jail. So it's always a positive message in the special songs.
Okay, let's take a listen to "A Message to You, Rudy," and we'll be back in a sec. Hello, we're back, and you're listening to the punk rock demonstration with me, Jack, and we're at the Galaxy Theater with Lynvall from the Specials. So I was reading on your website that you had new unreleased demos. Can you tell us a little bit about why you're releasing them now?
We're not releasing those demos. They were like something that I wrote and did when we had time off from the band. And it was something, you know, like 96 Tears, you know, is a song we covered, me and Terry. We just went in the studio and we just messed about. And the original version of Why, you know, why did you try to hurt me? Because I got stabbed, I got beaten up by racists, right? So all I ask is, why did you try to hurt me? Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why. Do you really want to kill me? Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why. I know that I'm black. You know that you're white. I'm proud of my black skin. You're proud of your white skin. So why do you try to hurt me? I never want to hurt anybody because of the color of their skin or the religious belief. That's not what it's about. It's togetherness. What freedom for everybody to live together, unite, you know?
So were a lot of the lyrics that you came up with based on what happened to you?
All songs that I write is exactly what I'm going through in my life, you know? do nothing. It's about being unemployed. I didn't have a job, so I wrote about it.
Were you able to find a job back then?
I did find a job, the best job, with the specials, spreading the words. That's the best job anyone could have ever had. I've been lucky. Being in a band and being able to travel the world. I mean, that's the best job. And be able to, be able to get on the stage and speak on behalf of others who haven't got the voice to shout. That's the best job. We talk. Whatever the kids out there who haven't got the opportunity to get on the stage and shout about, right? We do that for them. We're their mouthpiece.
So how was it like touring with bands like The Clash or like The Damned?
The Clash was absolutely amazing. They were the best band I've ever. They were just like Mick and Joe and Topper. They were just a brilliant bunch of guys. Every night we learned a lot from that band, because I remember, like, as Bernie Rhodes, the manager who managed The Clash, was managing the specials, but we didn't get on, so we left London and went back to Coventry. But we remember everything that Bernie Rhodes said to us. Bernie Rhodes said to us, "Well, you guys aren't fucking ready for this yet." And we was like, what are you talking about? We're ready. We're doing sold out shows. He said, no, he's the one who sent us to France to get our act together. Because we were doing one punk song, one reggae song, one soul song. It wasn't together. Bernie said, you guys are not together. And we went off to France, come back, went bam, Gangster. If you listen to the start of Gangster, it goes, Bernie Rhodes knows don't argue. That's the start of the song. That's the intro of the song. Bernie Rhodes knows don't argue. Boom, boom. That's it. So we did pay tribute to the guy who literally told us that we should go and, because obviously, like, the clothes and the two-tone stuff, clothes and the tonic, we didn't get all that together yet. We were just looking at a big shamble. But as soon as we get back from France, we got all the clothes together. We find these vintage shop. We find these clothes and that. I remember what Bernie Rhodes said to us. When you go to a club, you look around, you find one guy who doesn't look like everybody else, and you take that idea. There's one sort of mad guy in the crowd with that. There is. That's our style from the one. We took the idea.
So were you born in England or were you born in the United States?
I was born in Jamaica.
How did you end up in England, or how did you end up here?
Well, after this is going back in history, right? When after the last World War, when England got really bombed and they had to rebuild, just like where they'll have to rebuild Iraq and countries like that, which is quite sad the way things work. You go and smash the country, but then you rebuild it and kill millions of people. It don't make any sense to me. But anyway, my parents, Sir Winston Churchill called to the Commonwealth country, come to the motherland and rebuild this beautiful country of ours. So obviously there's lots of work. There wasn't much work in Jamaica, a small island. So everyone went off to England. My parents went to England, so we end up in England.
So was there any reason why you picked ska to be the type of music you played and not some other type?
Well, if you listen to the special music, right, it's such a mixture of music. Everyone say you're a ska band, right? But you listen to music, we're just a very clever musical band. We put all these different rhythms together, and I'm more easy to describe the music as two-tone, a blend of different styles of music. Because it was easier for the record company to market us as a ska band. But you listen to like International Jet Set, Stereotype, all those other songs, right? They're so different, but we make it all work.
So you guys don't classify yourselves as a ska band, but the media does.
The media does. We're just a good music. We're just a wonderful musical band. We'll be able to blend jazz and reggae and ska and also different rhythm and make one sound.
So what were your influences?
My favorite songwriter and my favorite guitar player is Steve Crapper, who plays on. If guys who don't know Steve Crapper, too young to know who Steve Crapper is. He's the guy who played on like all the Otis Redding songs. If you don't know who the Otis Redding is a stack. He played on all those songs. He's a brilliant guitar player. My favorite songwriter has got to be Curtis Mayfield, who's no longer. He died now. Brilliant songwriter. So I listened to ska when I was like 4 or 5 years of age in Jamaica when I was growing up, which is like Prince Buster, Derek Morgan, all those guys. That's why I listen to. But I happens to be able to listen to like the soul music and be able to take a bit of both and put it together.
So you grew up with ska and
soul music, soul R&B, mostly Stax, and a lot of Tamla Motown.
So that's what influenced the Specials into creating a sort of like a ska.
No, that's why if the Specials got 7 different individual guys together from all different backgrounds. You got Roddy, who's more for a rockabilly punk sort of guitar player, right? You've got Jerry, who's sort of classically trained. You got Oris, who's really into jazz funk. When you put all those musicians together, you make a sound, a joyful sound, which that's what we did. So it's not like everybody was influenced by the same thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. I think people don't understand how this. If you listen to the special, you hear all these different influences musically. The reason why it worked, we didn't go and look for. Well, we got to find a ska bass player or a ska drummer. No, I'm the one with a ska reggae background. I brought that to the table. Roddy brought the rockabilly punk to the table. Horace brought the jazz funk to the table. Jerry brought the more classical bit to the table. And Brad was like a northern soul drummer.
How did you find all these people to form the Specials?
Well, Jerry was in a band called the Raking Soul Band. And when he left, I joined that band. Because Jerry wanted to form his own band, and he used to play with another band called. They were like sort of this sort of it's a girl named Sissy Stone band, but he's always he's been writing songs since he was like 15 years of age. I mean, the guy wrote like Too Much Too Young when he was like 15. You know, I mean that's a genius. To be able to talk about you've done too much, much too young. You're married with a baby, but you should be having fun. He's only 15 when he wrote that. You know. So Jerry decided there's a bar in Coventry that we play at it every Sunday night. I was playing with this band called Raking Soul Band, and Jerry looked at me and he said, "Do you fancy coming down my house and I got a few songs. Could you come and play?" Because he wanted the reggae ska rhythm on it. I said, "Yeah, come down," and that's how the whole thing started.
What are you doing here tonight?
Well, Dave kindly asked me. I've been sort of living in Seattle, and I took I've got a little boy who's 7. He's coming here tonight, and I decided to be the modern guy. Very modern, the stay at home dad, and do all the diaper and all the potty training, which has been absolutely amazing, wonderful. So I done all that for 7 years. He's at school now, and Dave just timed it right. Dave rang me up and said, "What are you doing this summer?" I said, "Well, I'm just playing golf, fishing. Because in Seattle we go fishing for salmon and all that. So it's good fun." And I said, "Well, you come out and do some shows with me." I thought, "Oh my, I haven't done this for like 9 years, man. What do you think? I can't do it, I said, "Come on out, So he emailed me all the songs, and I learned the songs. Come down, I've run through. That's why, and it's been a wonderful. I get on that stage. I cannot believe when I look at the crowd. I'm going, we released our first record 26 years ago, and these kids are like 17, 18-year-old kids. I'm going, how did you find out about this band? This kid come to me. I'm going, because I haven't done it for so long. I was like, oh my God, this is weird. I was so nervous for the first night. I just couldn't. I was like shaking like a leaf, But the kids in the crowd, they give me such a big lift. And I went on, and Dave said, "Well, I've got from the Specials, Lynvall Gold." And I just, oh my God, I nearly collapsed. I just didn't expect such a warm, response from the crowd, because I thought, they don't know who the hell I am, I was really surprised. But then again, we're living in the age of internet, so kids can do their research and they find out about us. And especially when our song really touch a certain age group, then it's, and I'm glad that, you got 16, 17-year-old kids relate to our music and talk to me about the music. I can tell them what the song's about and explain why we wrote these songs and how important it is not to go and get into drugs and stuff like that, because there's so much message within the special music. It's happy, and it's like happy, but when you listen to it, you listen to the words, like sort of a nightclub. I won't dance in a club like this, or the girls are slugs and the beer tastes just like piss. You listen to it carefully. We're saying things that we say when we're in the club. You go to a club and you think, oh my God, the beer really awful in here, and look at the girls, they're not attractive really. That's what we say in the music. We just go straight to it.
So what's the difference between the shows today and the shows that you had back then?
The show today is just as energetic as it was. The kids, as I said, like the kids, when we start doing like some of the songs, I do like 3 special songs in the set, right? Amazing. I'm going, how the hell do these kids know the song? They're singing all the words. And I'm going, well, something, if you do something good and it touch one generation of music fan, right, it'll go on. And because our songs never dated, because as I said to you before, kids are still having kids today. A 15-year-old is still having kids at school. And you say, well, God, so this song still stand up today.
So has anything whack ever happened at any of the shows that you've done?
Oh, there's always crazy things. In the early days, we used to have stage invasion where there's time when we walk off the stage, there's a photograph and they go, can you spot the Specials, It was packed with people. But them days, we control the crowd, So it was all right. I mean, we had lots of problem from security, you want to throw them off. We says, no, don't worry about it. We control them. We do like sort of You're Wondering Now, the last song, you're wondering now what to do, now you know this is the end. We got everybody sat down because they listened to us, and the security couldn't understand how we could control a crowd like that. But it's like the special there wasn't like sort of there is a group and there's the audience. We're all one. We don't travel around in limousine or stuff like that. We don't believe in stuff like that. We believe in being part of the whole. It's like everyone is our friend, and that's why when they get on stage, we never throw them off, because we're all one.
Have you ever ran into any incidents of racism during a show?
Of course, but it's, the couple of times in England that we run into racism, right? I don't think it's even right to even highlight those things, because it's so small. I rather talk about the good part of things. It's not like a couple of times in England where we got like racist skinhead. The vast majority of skinheads are absolutely wonderful, great. We even got skinhead throw out skinhead because of the racist chant, I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that,
So do you guys have a website?
We've got one. It's unofficial. It's not the proper website, which we're gonna. The one that you see there is not the right website, I think we're gonna create something which is gonna be more true to what the band is. This one is just like, it's not the right one, but it still informs people, but it's not the true website,
So it's not run by you guys, it's run by fans?
It's mostly run by fans, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
It's just as I said, we were talking about earlier on, where I just bought the Handcut magazine, and it is a first article on the special, which is so true. I remember there's like bits where like Elvis Costello produced our first record, and we're in the studio and we're having such a blast. And I remember, because Elvis was famous, so he couldn't go to the bar. We go to the pub, we get drunk, we come back in. That record was made and being drunk. It's crazy. Like today, I'm going to the kids. Well, you must not drink,
That doesn't work.
I did that when I was younger as well. So I always have to remember, these kids are young and they'll have to go through these things. But it's just a bit, say to them, be careful. Please get home safe. We don't want no accident, no one getting hurt. Just get home safe, But there's lots of things that happened during like the making of the record. It was amazing. We went in there and we just nailed it within like 3 weeks, I mean, nowadays you get bands I mean, there's something I don't want to talk about yet because it's too early. But there's certain things that we've been working on, and it's been working on for the last 2 years. I do not know when this is going to see the light of day. But a couple of us are working on some stuff.
So we should be expecting something from the special soon, right?
I don't think it's going to be the special. It's going to be specials member. So far, it's me and Jerry, who's been experimenting. I go back to London quite often. I'm going back to London in October. I've also got a project. There's a record released on the 18th of September, which I played on both tracks, which is a friend of mine called Palmer International, and it's out on Trojan, and it's with Dennis Al Capone. It's one of those old DJ guy, and I forget what the other guy's called, but I'm going back to England to promote that, and I every time I go back to England, I meet up with Jerry, and we just write together and we do things, but hopefully someday we'll see the result of that. There's one other thing I like to say, right? There's a song on the Special AKA album which is called War Crimes, right? And that was written like 20 years ago, right? The lyrics of the songs, guns and bombs to settle argument, the order of the day. Can't you hear them crying in the rubble of Beirut? We're back there 20 years later doing the same thing. Jerry wrote that song 20 years ago called War Crimes. And it's a shame that right now, that's why the thing that really inspired like us to get back to, well, me and Jerry to get back together really, is that the only other band that's actually touching anything political that's happening in the world, right, is Green Day. I think it's a fantastic band. I haven't listened to, that's Crosby, Stills and Nash. What's the guy name? He's got an album out, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young. But I haven't heard that album, right? But you might think it's really funny, but one of my favorite songs, right? You're gonna say, "What are you doing?" It's quite. Well, I'm not embarrassed to say that. I love this song, right? It's the Dixie Chick song because it touched a subject, and I just said, "Fair play, you girl." They were in London, and because of what she said, right, her opinion, right, which is this country, you voice your opinion, it's a freedom of speech. And yes, still, when she voiced her opinion, right, what did America did? They want to burn all their records and do all those things. I thought, hold on a minute. This is freedom. This is a country of free speech. Why you? That girl, she said what she, and I thought that record was absolutely fantastic. That song should be Song of the Year because it taught the truth, and she said it exactly how she felt. I thought, fair playing your girl, respect to her. Really respect her a lot. And that's what part of the reason why me and Jerry got back together and started working, because we got to write about all these dreadful things happening in the world, and we're not scared to write about these things because that's what we do. That's why like bands like Clash and all that band, we respect those guys. You go back like Bob Dylan, who touched me. John Lennon, who all we are saying, give peace a chance. That's all we want to say. Nobody seems to be picking up on that today. People tend to be quite happy to support destruction in Beirut, and destruction in because to me, right, it doesn't matter what. Two wrong doesn't make it right. If a Israeli die, it's tragic, right? If a Palestinian or any one of them die, right, it's tragic. I don't join a side. My only side is people don't kill each other. Please try and live good. We only got one life. Try and move together. Don't kill each other. Let's try and break down this hatred between us and try and live together. And I think it's a shame that progress have made in that way, because you think this all. Well, what are they doing? They start a war, they kill each other, then they spend, as this one guy said, the best way to create employment is to start a war. So innocent people have to die to create wealth for the Oliver Burton and people like that, Isn't it sad?
Yes, it is, and that's a great message to tell people.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, not many people listen.
I know. That's why a band like me and us and Jerry have to come back together and write songs, because we have a way of making the song listenable, We do happy songs, but lyrics are bang. And by the time kids start realizing they're singing this song, they go, but it is true what he just said, That's what it is, I watched kids nights years ago singing "It Doesn't Make It All Right," and I watched kids going, not because you're a black boy, not because you're a white, it doesn't mean you have to hate him, it doesn't mean you have to fight, it doesn't make it all right. You get them singing it and going with that chant, right? They say, but it is 20. We're just one. You close your eyes, right? Hold me, and I'm talking right. Only the accent you can tell. Well, I've met white Jamaican. You couldn't tell that. He's got really strong accent, right? So you couldn't tell the color of his skin by the way he talk. So that's what we just want, a world where there's no color involved, just people getting on. That's very, very important. And that is like that. That is the. That's why I've got to say, like, I love Green Day because they got out there and they says it straight up there, and I just respect them for that. One of my favorite band. Because of their message, they weren't afraid to say these things, and I respect them a lot.
Yeah, it's a good thing that music is so influential, so we can just change the world a little bit at a time with a song, right?
We can, we can get to it, because we're dealing with like the next generation. We got to talk to the next generation, because they're the one that's gonna, the kids who are like now in England, we've got like sort of some of our songs are using commercials, right? Those people who working behind the scene, they were 14, 15 at the time. They're the one that's using our music, selling Ford cars and PT Cruisers and all those things, But right, as long as it's been played, it's getting to the 15-year-olds, They watch those commercials. They go and find out, who's this band, I've heard it. They do their research and they find out about us. So it's still working, and it's wonderful,
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that you like the Dixie Chicks earlier, because one of my favorite songs is Goodbye Earl from the Dixie Chicks. So.
Oh, thank you. You got good too. But I'm a big fan of theirs, and when that album come out, I rushed out and I bought the album because of that song, and because that girl didn't hold back. She goes, I'm still mad as hell, And I think, that's a wonderful song. And I think America should stand up and embrace that band, because they stood up and they speak on behalf of. What they're doing is giving everyone the freedom that's been taken away from them now. Because don't forget, with all this homeland security and everything going on, we're losing our freedom every day, right? It's like if you can't say things, you're unpatriotic if you don't follow this guideline, That's not what America's about. It's freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm. And what sucks is, like, if, for example, the Dixie Chicks, people are afraid to say that they like the Dixie Chicks because of the way they look or something like that, and it's unfortunate, but as long as they have a good message, in my opinion, I think that it's worth saying that, oh, this is a good band. Like, for example, Green Day or whatever,
I find them girls very attractive. The people that hear them, they must be blind. The girls are very attractive. But the sentiment in their music and the statement that they make is the most beautiful thing. The music. So the music is beautiful, what they do,
You were talking about this magazine earlier before we started the interview. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you brought that magazine out?
It's the magazine, which is called Uncut Magazine, and I think the magazine is about it's about the debut album And obviously they voted the Specials' first album as one of those albums that's sort of a special, one of those that stand out as a debut album. So where's the article? It's in here somewhere.
So you were featured in this Uncut magazine?
It's Uncut magazine, and it's the August edition of Uncut, and it's got people like Bob Dylan and all these people who done wonderful music.
What's this magazine about?
It's a British magazine, and it's got new album, classic free. 21 albums review. It's about it's about like classical. It's mean as if you would never get like bands like say
So it's like a band magazine type deal.
It's a band magazine. You wouldn't get like sort of if you're into what's those girl power band from England? What's it called again? Them girls. You wouldn't get those sort of artists in this band in this magazine because it's more really serious music. It's not your sort of bubblegum music, you know.
It's not like Britney Spears type music.
No, she wouldn't be present. She wouldn't be. You got like you look at all the artists there. You got like the Who. You got Jimi Hendrix. You got what's the name? The Doors. You got all these Mick Jagger. You got all these. It's all about music that's made and not bubblegum. It's not like the Spice Girl. That's the band I'm trying to look for. They wouldn't be featured in magazine like this because it's
music with meaning is what you're saying.
It's music that's got something. You got like the Pretenders, there's a Who there. You got there's a special. So he's got the 100 greatest debut albums, So we're in that bracket as one of the best debut album, the top 100 album of all time.
Oh, that's amazing.
This magazine, yeah. So it's just and it's a great article. It's the first article that I've read that really says everything about this special, which is absolutely spot on. It's a really, really good article. Like all they run down the Rolling Stones at number 50, and Pink Floyd, the Byrds, Ramones, the Who, Led Zeppelin, Joy Division, Roxy Music, the Stooges, the band, Stone Roses, Jimi Hendrix, Television. You just go right through the best album that ever released, the best debut album of all time. So it's a really, I feel proud that after 26 years, we're in a magazine like this. I think it's incredible.
It is incredible. Can people find this magazine in the U.S.?
Yeah, I bought it here. It's in the shops here. I bought it in down by Melrose. There's a big music that sells a lot of British newspaper and stuff like that, and that's where I bought it. It's a bit pricey. It's $8.99.
It's a pretty big magazine.
Yeah.
So,
but it's a magazine that influenced all of us. It's a magazine that actually if you want to be inspired, you got like Radiohead and all the people who make music that lasts forever are in this magazine.
well, thanks for the interview.
Oh, thank you very much. Nice talking to you. And all the people out there, big up and keep listening to good music, and listen to the station. Don't forget, this is your punk rock demonstration coming to you right now. Listen to the word of the man and coming with wisdom and knowledge, right? Punk rock radio. Respect, man.
Okay, thanks a lot.